I take the risk, but I take the gain as well. Just like, how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to the point where you want to be failing constantly, to the point where it knocks you down that bad and you're like, I need to get my shit together?
Have you been there before?
Yeah.
What did that look like?
Very dark. You realise that you've actually got like a lot of psychology work you need to fix. It's almost like then turns into a self-improvement journey. Because I got kicked out of school. I don't even have GCSEs.
Mad.
ADHD, a lot of people self-diagnose it now. You have like a very wide attention span and you can hyper-focus 6-7 hours a day of like just trading. Then I back-tested my own model. I had like an 80% win rate. In every negative situation, there's positives. You have no chance of eliminating it 100% unless like you use AI, proving certain people wrong in that, you know, I actually like can do something with my life and go down this route of entrepreneurship, I guess.
Let's get into it, mate. So we've had a little catch up since we last met.
Yeah.
And throwing knowledge out at us today. It's good, it's refreshing, it's nice to have someone who knows what they're talking about, especially on such a topic that people are interested in. We were just saying, like, some people are on different sort of stages of the journey.
Yeah.
What got you to the point where you're at today, you know, getting through failures and building yourself up to this point, and the things that you've been through? How did you kind of get here today with what you've tried in the world of trying to make money?
So from the start, gaming, noticed I was like really, really good on just console. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like invest into a PC and like learn keyboard and mouse. And I think like that took my skills within the game to like a new level. And I was like sitting there on my PC grafting for like 6-7 hours a day. And it kind of like brought me into like more of a like competitive scene. I was doing like wagers, which is just like bets on like who's going to win a 1v1. I was doing tournaments, won a few tournaments, won quite a couple wagers. And then I was just scrolling on like it sounds really cliche, but I was scrolling on Reels one night and, you know, I just saw these like Forex gurus, saw like just trading in general.
Yeah, typical, yeah.
And it's like when it kind of like blew up and it sparked every interest, but I was seeing more and more of it, and I was like, okay, if I can spend 6 hours a day on a PC playing a game, which I'm not really getting like a lot back from it, I'm only getting like wins here and there. What if I put that into learning a skill which would pay me in the long run, which I can do from anywhere in the world with, you know, just sounds really cliche again, but with just like a laptop and an internet connection. So I just started watching loads of videos, got notepads. I was buying like notepad after notepad because I was just like filling them out like front to back. And
with like research,
watching videos to say like I would watch. Really good trader who helped me out like within my journey is called TJR. So he's 23 and he's just bought 3.5 million Koenigsegg Regera R. So he would do like almost like YouTube playlists. So it'd be like mid to long form content, like sort of like 40 minutes to an hour. It'd be a playlist of like 20-25 videos.
Mad,
explaining like imbalances, liquidity, just all of like the fundamental basics you need to actually dissect the charts when you look at it. So yeah, I was.
What was drawing you into this at this point? Was it, as you say, like you looked at the gurus and like the social media side of things coming in? Was it the monetary thing that was drawing you to it at this point so far, or?
It's a really hard one because I'd be lying if I said like it wasn't, but I feel like that's what like every trader looks at is a monetary gain.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you go down the journey of actually, number one, like learning the fundamentals, and you try applying the fundamentals, and you realise that you've actually got like a lot of psychology work you need to fix. So then it's almost like then turns into a self-improvement journey. And luckily through that, like I fell in love with the process. I fell in love with the process of like unwiring my cognitive thinking and like proving like, because I got kicked out of school, so it's like proving certain people wrong and that, you know, I actually like can do something with my life and go down this route of entrepreneurship, I guess.
What were the kind of struggles that you were facing within school and whatnot to make you get kicked out? And then what out of those characteristics have helped you with trading, do you think?
So I was like really bad with authority. So I've got ADHD, I've got traits of Asperger's. So like with my mum when I was a kid, she couldn't just tell me to like wash up, because I'd be like, no, like you're telling me what to do. Like I was really, really bad with the authority. And instead what she'd be like, okay, like you can do the washing up, you can fold up the laundry. And I can kind of like choose what I want to like do, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm a control freak, but I'm kind of like in control of like what I'm willing to do. So.
And that must have reflections in like a lot of the way that you manage your life and manage your trades and whatnot.
And that's obviously what we'll get into. I was quite like disobedient, but I took like a lot of like positives from that, and I knew kind of from the get-go and before I even got out into like the real world that I wanted to be my own boss. Eventually I wanted to learn something which I can do when I want to do. You know, I take the risk, but I take the gain as well. Plus as well, I've never really liked the idea of, in a sense, working my ass off for somebody else's gain. So within trading, that I could kind of like dictate what I wanted to do. I could dictate what I learned. And that's the thing, like there's so many sources online, and like so many different like informational videos you can watch. It's all about you and like what you actually want to take in and what sparks your interest. When I started trading, it was monetary, but I kind of like fell in love with the education process again because I actually enjoyed learning about something. Like in school, I only liked food tech because I could just make something and eat it after.
It's practical, isn't it?
It's practical. Like, that's the word. I was very like practical, like into like the woodworks, computer design, all of that sort of stuff. So in a sense, it's a bit of like a weird term because now like I sit down while I'm working, you know, I'm not like moving about. So it's like a bit of a weird turn in that aspect, and I do struggle with that a bit. I get like a bit fidgety. I always like pop off for like 15-20 minutes, just go on like a little gander around the trading floor. Being in school, those sort of like characteristics to own, they're not very good, you know.
Well, within that environment.
Within that environment, and it's all about your environment and how you let your environment dictate you. Like I'll be real, most teachers thought I was just a absolute upright bellend, you know. And the only teachers I got on well with was because of my humour. And I kind of took a lot of that within my process of actually learning trading. And then again, it was like I fell in love with actually like learning about something I wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Not because I had to. Like I hated maths because I had to learn it. But it's like all of these things are like imbalances and certain things within the market. I learned that because I actually wanted to. And I think ultimately that's where I'm at now. And it's like ADHD, a lot of people self-diagnose it now. You have like a very wide attention span and you can hyper-focus. So I mean, like I was like learning like 6-7 hours a day of like just trading. And once I completed a notebook, I'd read that notebook front to back.
That's almost inhumane, isn't it?
And it was like there was like a period for 9 months. Me and my first girlfriend split up at the time. I went on like I don't know what it's called, but like a dark era. Like I was inside, and I was feeling like quite down in the dumps. And then, so like I obviously like kind of forgot about trading. And then like I saw it on Reels again. I was like, fuck, like what am I doing? So I just picked up the book again, got my laptop. It was such a bad laptop at the time.
Yeah.
I was just watching video after video after video. I look at like the markets and like say some traders would post like trade recaps. Oh, a little burp.
It's all right.
So some traders would post like trade recaps, and that's just like short 5-minute video explaining what they done within the day, what positions they took. And I'd like look at those positions. I'd look into the markets on that day and learn why they actually took that position. I started to see similarities. So then from that, I knew of like certain strategies and certain models. So I would be like learning these certain strategies and models, and then that ultimately brought me to creating my own model and like my own strategy and my own like confluences I look out for.
What did that take to be able to build your own model?
I would backtest. So backtest is where you are testing previous data. So it's like FX replay. You can load up any chart from kind of like when the symbol was created. So I'd go through and I'd backtest like these certain strategies, and I'd notice like one mate might have had like a 40% win rate, but it was like profitable because the risk to reward was greater. So I'd take like certain things from that, I write them down, I'd go on to the new strategy, and I find like a more profitable strategy, but it had like a lower risk to reward ratio, but there was more confluences. So I'd add those sort of like confluences, and again I'd write down all of the confluences, and it would just be like strategy hopping until I had like a definitive list of what are like main confluences, what am I seeing in every single strategy. And off of that I could kind of, you know, like craft my own model. And then I back tested my own model. I had like an 80% win rate, and like my risk to reward was only 1.4, so I'd like risk 1,000 and gain 1.4 thousand. But it's to the point of I was using 1 out of 5 trades on back testing. And from a psychological standpoint, if your model has a high win rate, you're not going to have psychology issues. You know?
And so what are these? I want to get into the psychology side of trading, because we were talking before we started the chat. It's also a kind of confidence game as well, and the decision making changes with your state of mind. So
yeah.
How do you deal with that? How do you stay in an optimal place? And what have you kind of seen as well? How have you seen your psychology get affected by your confidence, and how does it reflect on the trades?
So kind of like back testing, I was like, okay, like I know my strategy is profitable. So then I would front test my strategy. So I'd trade on a demo, and you know, even like here I was like, this is kind of before I turned profitable, like just before. But even then, like I've learned so much now from then, which I don't do anymore. And it's now kind of what I do is I'll look at kind of like price when I wake up or just before I go to sleep, and I'll write down exactly how the trading day went. And I'll write down kind of like an expectation of what I'm looking for price to do to like the next day. So I wrote that down, wrote loads of stuff down last night. You know, it's like about 40-50 minutes, and you know, I was like, today I'm bearish, like I'm taking a sell or I'm not trading. And then I took a sell today, and unfortunately it hit my stop loss. But that's the thing, it's like I wasn't mad that it hit my stop loss, because I had certain confluences, certain stronger confluences, which were like, okay, this is enough of a confirmation for me to enter and not be mad. You know, it is very like everybody gets losses, and it's how you let your losses dictate your actual like field of vision. You know, if you're, one thing what I applied was like always looking at every situation and with a positive, no matter like how negative it is. You know, like, and I hate to like bring up the example, but even like to the point of like a close person like passing away, you still have a positive out of that, which is like you spent quality time with them. You know, it's like in every negative situation there's positives. And so with my losses, I started to, you know, look at them in like more of a positive light, be like, okay, like this is just trading. And then like I'd maybe lose like 2 or 3 in a row and be back to winning like 6 or 7 in a row. But I feel like there's 4 quarters in a year. So what I trade futures, you trade with a contract. So it's almost like a contract is based off of a quarter. So you'll have like your first quarter, your second quarter, your third quarter, and so on. So August has been horrendous. August is like notoriously horrendous to trade, because it's when all of the Wall Street guys are, you know, out on yachts to Monaco, this, that, and the other. That's when the market movers aren't at their desks. So it's always horrendous to trade, and I've probably taken 6 trades this month, won 2, lost 4. But for the month, I'm at break even because of like my risk management strategy. I've won 2 and I've lost 4, but I'm not down on the account. I'm up actually. I'm up like I think 0.6%. So it's in a sense, I've never really been in this sort of like market condition while I've been profitable. So now it's like a big learning curve for me because it's learning what markets to actually trade into. What markets do I shut my laptop and be like, I'm just going to go about my day. And that goes into like fear of missing out and greed. They're like natural human emotions, and almost as a trader you've got to completely eliminate that. Like, you have no chance of eliminating it 100% unless like you use AI to build your strategy for you in a sense, so you can get like...
Have you done that yourself? No. So you can get like bots which you like obviously code your strategy, and then the AI will like in a sense carry out your strategy. Cheeky little snarl, I might pop on in a minute. Yeah, mate, take your time.
And so yeah, the AI is like coding a strategy. So in a sense of like an electronic standpoint, an AI isn't going to have emotions.
That optimistic look, has that taken some time to evolve as you've gone on?
It's also taken like a lot of like lost money to realise that as well. Like a lot of like dark places. And I feel like I wouldn't be here without like my losses. And, you know, in a sense, like my losses made me. And if I started trading all over again, I'd go through those losses, no matter like how hard they were. Because it's more of like a journey than anything. It's not just like your corporate job. Like, it's a journey. You're evolving, the markets are evolving. Markets are always changing, and like so are you. So always for like every day there's like a certain perspective to like apply to the day and certain things to look out for. So I guess in a sense like it's always evolving and you're always learning. You know, I'm never gonna be stagnant within like my experience or my knowledge within it. It's just gonna continue to expand.
Like, say if somebody was started trading today, what would you recommend they do in like the first step of the process? Like, what would...
Because and just to add to that, I was thinking your process of writing everything and being very self-aware and analysing what you've done and sort of looking to the next day as well. Do you think it takes that level of sort of detail, do you think? And kind of what he said, for someone who's just getting into it.
It's a lot of journaling, and it then like once you get deeper down like the rabbit hole, you realise like it's then it actually turns into a journey, you know, because it's like very personal things about you. Like some people have to unwire certain cognitive thinking processes. Some people have to like completely like switch off their emotions, and in that sense, like, that's also like different perspectives. That's a positive, but that's like a negative. Like certain things can happen in your life. Like people might walk out of your life, might lose girlfriend, relationship, whatever, and they just don't care because the markets have taught them to shut off their emotions. But then it also like, say like within relationships, that will also like negatively impact their relationships because they're quite nonchalant. I think that's the word for it nowadays, isn't it? They're quite nonchalant, you know?
Yeah.
Where I kind of have like a median. So like when I turn up to the charts, I just don't care. But then I think like within like relationships, not just with like girls, but like with my friends as well, I'm like very loving friend.
Maybe that even comes from, you know, you're a religious lad as well. I mean, you say you read the Bible a lot as well, and you've got those sort of principles and morals that you stand by as well, which would give you that medium.
And it's like every time I read the Bible, whether it's positive or negative, there's always something which I can take from it. So in a sense, like I wouldn't be where I am without faith, because I learn almost to embrace and accelerate my failures, because everybody's going to fail before they succeed in life. So it's like, how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to the point where you want to be failing constantly, to the point where it knocks you down that bad and you're like, I need to get my shit together?
Have you been there before?
Yeah.
What was that like? What did that look like?
Dark like that's literally very dark, even like to the point it gave me like quite bad mental health issues. And this is what I was saying, like I'd go through that all again, like the nights while I was crying and like not being able to sleep and like the insomnia and the stress and everything I deal with. I go through it all over again to be where I'm at now. And I think like the biggest piece of advice, if I was talking to the unprofitable me 2 years ago, it'd be to almost put yourself in an environment where you know you're going to fail, because that's usually where most people like are flourishing, because they're seeing loads of bad around them, and then they learn the right way, and then they surround themselves around like positive people, like positive environments, and then they're learning the right way with it.